Brendan Rice, there he is, Ricer, the referee out in the middle there, and he is not new to this occasion at all. He refereed here in 2012, I think it was, and the Geraldine McLaughlin scored an amazing 4 goals that day for Tyrone against Donaghmoyne at this very location, and good to see him smiling. He's always smiling, Ricer, and good to see him back. He had a few injuries in the last couple of years, but he is back. Terrific referee, and I'd say he's refereed more of these senior finals than anybody, and he brings his own personality to it there, and he's got the players smiling as well, which is nice as well. And the captains are Emer Corrigan, the number 6 there from Errigal Ciaran, and for Moneyglass it is Niamh McIntosh, and she won't mind me saying this as a start, but she's from Glenariff up in North Antrim, and her dad would be Johnny McIntosh, who does the hurling commentary and would do the live streams in Antrim, so that's a connection there, and they are the captains. And I don't think the toss will matter today because there's no breeze. Well, just as to say that there's a bit of a breeze coming in behind me, but nothing really to talk about or to be worried about at all. But it is the 2025 AIB Senior Championship final, Antrim against Tyrone. We didn't expect this at the start of the year. Now, Moneyglass were here a few years ago. Errigal Ciaran have to go back to 2007. Now we've that camera, as you see in that shot down below us there at pitch side, and then we've another one out there getting those lovely shots in there as well of the officials and everybody else. We should maybe get to the teams, so we will do that, and we will go on that wide shot to the teams now. And there were a few late changes to tell you about that I've just remembered actually, so I'll go to those right now. I have them here somewhere. For Moneyglass, 23 is in for 12. So for Errigal, 28 for 3, so the fullback there, Anya Hamill, is not starting at all, and instead it is 28 now. Emer Smith was with me and she has her programme, and you're already becoming extremely useful, Emer. So who's 20 in? Hannah, no, Mary, 28 for Errigal.
28, Mary Trainer comes
Mary Trainer, so she's come in, but I don't know if that's going to be absolutely player for player there, but 28 in for Errigal. Looking at the rest of the team there of Emer Corrigan, Maeve Corrigan, Maria Canavan, of course, one to watch at centre half forward, and she goes all the way back to winning a minor final in 2017. She was a star of that against Clonerahan, and it's number 9 there, watch out for her as well. Shannon Cunningham, a lot of people will know her as Shannon Quinn from years gone by, and she is still driving things there. A very young team, but she is, say, more mature, and she's been around, played at Ulster University around sort of the late noughties, around that sort of era as well, but a fantastic player, and good to see her still in and around there. Moneyglass then, let's look at them. 23's in for 12, 17's in for 15. So Eleanor Mallon is not starting and Annie Griffin is not starting. So from that, what you're looking at, we have 23 and 17. So Emer, Niamh Neeson.
Yeah, Niamh Neeson comes in, and then Laura McCann comes in.
Laura McCann coming in, and looking around the rest of that team, very mobile young midfield there. And then you have Sarah and Maria O'Neill, the two sisters, at centre half back and centre half forward. And then of course the Devlin sisters, one on goals now, Anya, famously for Antrim as well this year, and Brona Devlin was Antrim captain this year, and then former Antrim captain Cathy Carey in there as well, and she will be driving a lot of it. Of course, a lot of it will go through her, and it'll be a very tactical battle as well. It has the referee, or the banister there, is Mark Curran, that's Maxie Curran. Well, him and Charlie O'Kane have been in there for a number of years, so between the two of them, they are the management there. So Emer Smith, you're very, very welcome. You looking forward to this?
Thanks very much for having me on, Jerome. Yeah, look, I think this is going to be a really great game between two really good all-round sides. I think both have experience across the pitch, so I think that this is going to be a really good intense game. We're just looking at, I suppose, the warm-ups and watching the two teams. Really great intensity, especially noted from Errigal as well. They look really, really up for this. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, this is the first time in an Ulster final since 2007. So I think this will be a really exciting game. There'll be a bit of nerves at the start, as you'd imagine. But yeah, really looking forward to it.
You were saying about the nerves and not being there for a while. I mean, Errigal 2007. Is it an advantage, you think, that Moneyglass were there just a couple of years ago? And you can answer that after the anthem. So Emer, is it an advantage to Moneyglass, do you think? Are they favourites today, one by being in the final a few years ago and two just by their results in knocking out Clan
I'm not so sure. Obviously, I suppose the experience of being in an Ulster final before will definitely stand to them. But I suppose, look, Errigal have great firepower up front, and they'll definitely be looking to utilise it. Both teams have come through really hard-fought games in the semi-final and in their quarter-finals as well, so they'll be well prepped for today's game as well.
Talking about that firepower, I'm really sorry for bringing you here today, because you've seen enough of Aoife Horrisk and Claire Canavan and all those Tyrone players this year. You're sick of watching them, but they are through here and they are serious players. I mean, Aoife has been terrific this year for Tyrone and for Errigal Ciaran, and you know, in the last few weeks even she's been terrific. And then they've Maria Canavan, who hasn't been so much in the county scene, but she is a terrific player as well. And some players play almost better at times for their club. They show up more for their club and they can commit to that maybe.
Definitely, I think they've definitely brought Aoife's definitely brought her county form into the club scene as well, and obviously Maria has really taken the club scene by storm as well this year. I think a couple of the matchups will be interesting to see who picks up who.
Okay, who do you think?
I have down possibly Aoife Horrisk and Neve McIntosh to link up. I think that'll
Neve
be.
McIntosh is their go-to player marker all the time.
100%. She's a nightmare to try and play against. So I think that'll be a really, really interesting matchup, and could be one that's very important. Who gets out on top there?
Yeah, and who else do you see? What other matchups are there? I mean, who'll take Kathy Carey, for example?
Yeah, I was possibly thinking Maeve Corrigan might take her, but I suppose Kathy's very hard to mark. She can kind of pop up anywhere, so it'll be interesting to see who kind of takes her as well.
Yeah, so Kathy's in full forward on the team sheet, but where will she play? That's what I'm. But then again, you know, it's been such tactical battles so far, like the one against Clan that you know, positions mightn't mean an awful lot. It's more the strategy. But look, let's get on with the game here, and we'll follow that as we go on. And there, immediately you see the pace, and it's Claire Canavan coming in there. And you know, I've done junior and intermediate the last 2 days, and already there's a burst of pace there, and I feel as if I haven't seen anybody going quite that fast, and they'll all be going that fast. That's senior for you, and it's Errigal Ciaran for you. They have a lot of pace in their team, and that's what they'll be relying on. I think there'll be, obviously the tactics from Moneyglass will be quite defensive, and even looking off camera here, I can see already they have their setup in there, and this is Horrisk coming out, but she's having to spin out and give the ball back out again, and she does that, and Emer Corrigan comes forward. There's a lot of energy about Errigal Ciaran as they go forward here, but they haven't really made any inroads as yet. That's going to be the challenge for them today, but they will keep going and they will keep trying, and that's Elle McNamee, and again they're just forced to come back out the field here to Emer Corrigan, and it's very noticeable the way Moneyglass are playing. This is kind of what they did to Clan Éireann, the champions, in the last game. They got a couple of goals in the first half and then held them in the second half to 1 point at home, which is quite incredible. So they're well used to it, and Maxie Curran has done it famously with Donegal. He got a couple of famous wins over Dublin in the championship in years gone by, so he knows all about this kind of strategy, Emer.
Yeah, I suppose you'd kind of expect Moneyglass to set up like that. They've kind of sitting, players are kind of marked out round that D, and then they have two players kind of sitting in, floating, covering those gaps as well. But I suppose you kind of seen there the pace from Claire Canavan. That's how they're going to have to break those lines today, and to get those get through for those opportunities as well.
And Aoife Horrisk, as we know, can put these over from this kind of distance, and she will be so important today. If they get any frees, they draw any frees, they need her to put them over. Now, is that gone to the right? No, it's just inside the post, and Aoife Horrisk gets off to a good start. She's had a great year, and she's got Errigal Ciaran off to a good start. First point off the day. Anya Devlin then, converted goalkeeper this year. And you see Errigal pressing really high, and now Moneyglass. They had other players in a bunch in the middle, as you see in her wide shot there, and now they've all gone to the side. So it's even tactical from those kickouts, extremely tactical. Both teams have their own way of doing it. Errigal just pressing really high, and Moneyglass then just going for their tactic. But it's Errigal who get possession, and they come again with Elle McNamee. Runs into 2-3 players and blown for overcarrying this time. I thought it was going to go for them. Goes the other way. But already it's so intriguing, Emer. I mean, I find this really... the anticipation is terrific. Not just the game, but just the way the teams are playing is fascinating.
Definitely, I think you could see Elle was trying to break that line there and just got swallowed up a bit in the middle by that Moneyglass defence. They kind of want kind of shepherding Moneyglass come through that middle, but Maria O'Neill, I suppose on the flip side, has the pace then to break and get Moneyglass up the pitch as well. And
that's Maria on the ball now. She carries it forward. She has pace, and she's been terrific for them in the last few games. This is Kathy Carey now, and she's under pressure there, but gets her kick away. Doesn't get the distance on it though, and that's easy for the goalkeeper Megan O'Brien to deal with, though they have lost their fullback today. That's the one change for Errigal Ciaran. Anya Hamill not available today, so I wonder if that is going to affect them. Maybe it doesn't, going by the way that they dealt with that anyway so far. So they get possession now to come out with the ball. It is Errigal Ciaran in the white with a bit of blue and a bit of yellow in there as well. Trying to go through the middle, and they do, and see the way they take it at pace again, and it is at number 7 again, Michaela Moore this time. That's terrific pace from her. They just do everything. They go up a level, and now it is Horrisk again, and she dummies once or twice and then puts it over beautifully. She is bang on form, Emer. That's terrific. You would appreciate that.
That was a lovely score for me for Horrisk. Obviously the pace from Michaela Moore coming through, and then Horrisk just gone that loop as well. Threw a lovely dummy in there as well, and took a brilliant score from just inside the D.
Yeah, when Moore was coming forward, I actually thought it was Canavan. She'd done one similarly earlier. So when you have that pace in your half-back line, you're going to force mistakes when you run at people, and that's exactly what they're doing. And Moneyglass are going to have to do the same. They can't just sit deep, and they are able to do their own kind of attacking like that. So let's see what they can do. That's brilliant from Maria O'Neill there to find the number 23 there at Niamh Neeson. In fact, she is right through, and there might be a foul there. No, referee says carry on. I thought there might have been a foul just at the start of that, but he's keeping a close eye on it, and no foul, but certainly an opening there for Moneyglass. He got through there and almost got a goal chance. It looked like a 2-on-1 at one stage. We might get a look at a replay of that in a minute. And you see there are lovely side shots from our second camera right up close to the action, and that's where you really see the pace when you're up close at that level, and you can really appreciate it maybe at home on the live stream the way we appreciate it here at the game. This is Horrisk again. You have to appreciate her so far. She's going for her third score. She's full of confidence. She's not fouled. That's just a wide. But what about that chance at the other end? We'll see it again here now, Emer. That was pretty close, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was just at the last moment. The sub in there,
Neeson.
Niamh Neeson, just that last pass broke down that move there. But I suppose you can see the pace then of Errigal to get that transition up the pitch as well.
Errigal have got this from the kick out as well, and they might get in for a score here. This would be a dream start for them, because scores will be hard to come by. They've got 2 already, but no, it's had to come back out, and Neeson might get in the way of that. She doesn't. But yeah, I thought it might have been an infringement there, but looking at it again, yeah, she just dropped the ball basically, so there was no infringement at all. That's brilliant. And it's Canavan, is it, all the way through, and now it's Horrisk going through for a goal, and she goes down, and now the referee has his hand up. This is going to be a penalty. I'm pretty sure there's 2 players down there, and it is a penalty. And the one thing that's been really obvious so far for me, Emer, is Errigal Ciaran's pace running at Moneyglass is causing them serious troubles.
Yeah, definitely. I think that pace once again from Claire Canavan, and then I suppose that space in behind for Aoife Horrisk to operate. You can see obviously her coming on the previous score on a loop round in front, and obviously then that just cut in behind, opened up that move for
could be at a cost though. I mean, 2 of them down injured. Claire looks to be the worst there, and hopefully they'll be okay. And I'm not quite sure, maybe I need another look at exactly what happened there. The goalkeeper seemed to come out, Anya Devlin, and got something on it, but somebody fouled 1 or 2 of these girls. Let's have another quick close look on it here. This is Canavan coming through, so there's one challenge comes in very late on her actually. Now that was the number 9, that was Emma Louise McAreevy. She came in late in her after maybe that's what the penalty was given. I actually watched that and didn't watch the next bit, but which was it, do you think? Was it that or was it the next one?
I think it was the late challenge from the Moneyglass number 9. I think they did well. Moneyglass get the shot closed down whenever Horrisk goes in. And
Charlie O'Kane in there. Sorry, go on ahead. Yeah, they did well, but
yeah, just that foul off the ball. Like the referee's almost going to give that as a penalty in that area, so probably no complaints there from Moneyglass.
Now, this is crucial, because you need to get a good start against Moneyglass, and if they get a goal here, then it changes the complexion of the game. Clonairon weren't able to do it in the last game. So it's Maria Canavan, that famous left foot, and drills it. Oh, she's put it wide. She's put it wide. Not even on target. That's not like Maria at all, and I wonder, will they really rue that miss, because that was a great opportunity that they created, and they needed to get something from that. They have had a good start with 2 points, but that feels like a really missed opportunity, and it might lift Moneyglass as well. They're going to get going now. It's a bit of a let off for them, and it might be a wake up call for them as well. Now that is spilled, and it's going to be a free for for Moneyglass, and Emer, she just didn't really connect probably. It's not like her at all.
Yeah, I suppose as a left-footed kicker, that was probably the side that she wanted to go, but she just dragged that shot wide, unfortunately for Maria.
Do you think it's maybe the delay? I mean, you take penalties yourself. You know, was it the delay maybe was so long you had too much time to think about it?
Possibly. I suppose, Maria's experienced enough at this stage. I'm sure she would have composed herself, but she'd be disappointed, I suppose, and now it gives Moneyglass a bit of breathing room in terms of getting a score themselves.
And there is a score, is it? No, it's gone to the right and it's going to go wide. So yeah, they still haven't scored after 8.5 minutes themselves. Not that they'd be terribly concerned about that, but they'd be more delighted that they're not 5 points down. Now the goalkeeper is Megan O'Brien here. Now let's look at the kick-out strategy and the press from Moneyglass, and yeah, that's a zonal sort of press, isn't it, from them? They're pressing really high and forcing Megan to go on. That one isn't too accurate at all, and I know what she was trying to do, but it's gone straight to the number 8, Aoife Kelly, for Moneyglass. They have another opportunity. Will they put a couple wide, or is this going to go over? That looks right to me, and it's wide again as well. Again, no reason for panic, but they are getting opportunities here, Moneyglass.
Definitely think that kick-out press is really impressive, playing with the 4 in that front line, and then another block in that midfield area as well. Errigal will have to get wide to try and break that down.
Yeah, and there's one player not marking anyone, but they're having a line of 4. That's the strategy there. And then it's kicked over the top of that, and they need to get it to get out, and they can't. So you could say the press has worked there. That strategy working for Moneyglass. It's also tactical at this level. It really is. And they're also well drilled in it as well. It is fascinating. Now Sarah O'Neill, they get it forward, Moneyglass. This is better from them. They've settled. Rebecca Bradley gets it to Maria O'Neill. And Maria, it's interesting for me, Emer, she's playing quite deep and dictating the play, whereas with Antrim, she's sort of a poacher forward, but now she's kind of out and around the area trying to make things happen.
Yeah, I suppose Maria's got great pace, and once again, working hard there to get that turnover as well. She's an all-round player. Obviously, we know what she's like in front of goals, but she's also a really good playmaker for Moneyglass as well.
Yeah, and they're getting really stuck in here now, and they're winning a lot of the one-to-ones, and their tackling is effective, but they need a score. As Kathy Carey got it? No, she's put it to the left, and that's 2 from Kathy that have been unsuccessful. One dropped in and one's to the left, and both a little bit rushed, not like her either.
Yeah, I suppose Moneyglass need to possibly just settle themselves here. They've got a good pressure now on Errigal Ciaran. They've clicked those 3 wides in a row, really, so they'd be hoping to convert one of those chances shortly.
It feels as if the penalty was a big lift for Moneyglass, but also maybe just set Errigal back a little bit. You know, they had the expectancy there from the penalty. You'd have thought Maria would have put it away, and it looks like they're just struggling a wee bit with the game at the minute, and they just need to contain Moneyglass. They're doing it at the minute, but just about. Neeson picks it up off the shoulder and goes at them. Moves it back out again. Maria O'Neill just dictating again out around that centre half forward area, trying to bring players into the game. Brings Griffin into the game. Can she get a score? No, she's crowded out, can't get in, but here's room in the middle, and Kathy carries through it on one-on-one, and there was even a goal opportunity there, but probably the wise option out of it all, just to take the point. And just as Errigal Ciaran were thinking, we've got them here, they found a way through, and Moneyglass right back in this game. They could have been 5 down. As it is, they're only 1 down. They've recovered really well here. Yeah,
that was a lovely score from Kathy Carey. She just coasted in unmarked into that central zone after great work by Cleona Griffin as well.
And again, they're winning. This press has been really effective. You're right, absolutely right to signal that, because they have been working on the Errigal kickouts very successfully early in this game, and especially the last couple of minutes. And now they're motoring, they're getting their game going. There's players running off the shoulder at different angles. They're getting everybody into the game. They're releasing it at the right time. It's much better. It's more like Moneyglass. They feed it out to Sarah O'Neill, and they transfer the ball quickly. It's always, for me, a sign of a good team when they don't hold on to the ball too long, and then somebody comes in with pace and they carry it in confidently, but then the shot is wide. So they've only got the 1 point on the board, but they're dominating at the minute. Just checking on the YouTube and Facebook. I will do that as we go on, but there's not really much chance to do that because the game has a good pace about it, and there's no hanging around, and Megan O'Brien has got it out again. But let's look at this wide shot again, at this 4 players across, maybe just back around the D, if you like, around that area there, and it's effective. And Errigal are living on scraps from the kickouts and hoping they get it on the break, and they have got it on the break, and they have it now, and off they go. And have they lost it? They seem to have it. Indeed, it is a free free out, and Moneyglass just, it feels, Emer, that they're just starting to get on top.
Yeah, I suppose when Horse got the ball there, she had only really one option with Maria Canavan up front. The rest of the girls, I suppose, were trying to get up beside her, and Moneyglass were able to just get back in and force that turnover. It's interesting just the way that Errigal are setting up, pushing everybody back essentially, and just leaving Horse and Canavan up front as well. So they're trying to contain Moneyglass a bit at the minute, I would say.
Yeah, I was out in the pitch before the game there, and a wee bit bobbly, as you might expect for this time of year, and maybe when you try to bounce or whatever, it's not going to work for you. Now that is a better pass, although challenge coming in from the blind side. She releases it well. This is better from Errigal Ciaran, but as you say, not many options up ahead, so she's going to have to be composed, keep it, and that's exactly what she's doing, waiting for the right time, and then gets it into Maria, and that's a lovely return ball as well to Canavan, the two of them combining really well. And can they function here? Can they get something? Can they manufacture something? Well, that's a bit ambitious from there, and goes to the left, and it goes wide, and both teams guilty rather there of quite a few wides early in the game, whatever that's about.
Yeah, I think Errigal possibly just needed to keep possession there. They managed to get the ball up the pitch, and they probably just needed to work it around a bit, maybe force the shot, and unfortunately then it went wide.
Oh, there's an interception, and it's Canavan again. It's at pace. It's caused a lot of problems for Moneyglass, and it's spilled, but it might spill kindly. They might get a goal here. No, Devlin has managed to save it with her legs. The threat there again from Errigal Ciaran, and Moneyglass have survived again, but you wonder how many times they'll be able to survive. That pace is causing them such problems. It's such a fascinating game, it really, really is, because Errigal Ciaran were out of it for about 5 minutes, then they get up and they nearly get a goal, and they intercepted from the kick out there, and it's the pace that is really, really interesting at this level. That's beautifully taken. I'm not sure it was meant for her, but she's taken it beautifully in her stride there, Sarah O'Neill. And goes forward with it and looks for Brona Devlin to get on the ball, and Brona does. Not many options for her up ahead either. There's so many Errigal players back, and in fact I'm just looking off camera here over to your left, and it's all blue jerseys, you know, so Errigal got back really quickly and Moneyglass did not get up that quickly. Whatever that says about the game, we'll leave that for another time. This is Kerry, nice drop of the shoulder from her, and she's got a free if she needs it, and she does indeed get it. Yeah, tactically it's just fascinating, isn't it? Yeah,
I think just to bring it back to that previous play, that was a brilliant tackle from Caitlin Griffin here, that near hand, and then an excellent save then backed up then by your keeper Anya Devlin, and then I suppose Moneyglass were able to work it up the pitch nice and quickly, and Kathy Carey then draws the free as well.
Kathy can put this over from here. Plenty of height on it. She got the direction. It's dropping under the goals, and it might even drop in the net, and it's booted into the net. Now Brendan Rice is having a very close look at it, and he seems to be okay with it. He's still looking to see if his umpires have any problem with it, and they don't, and it's a goal from Moneyglass. So after conceding the first 2 points of the game and a penalty, they're unbelievably now ahead. So watch it again. Kerry's kick comes in, drops in, and you know, she's not exactly the tallest. I'm not sure which player it is, but she got in there and just broke it, and really opportunistic from the forward. I'm not quite sure who it is. I'll get her name in a minute, but fair play to her.
Yeah, that was great. Great desire there to get on the end of that ball. Whenever it dropped in, I think it was Leah Stewart.
I'm just thinking it was Leah Stewart, and you know, Leah Stewart is wearing number 4, but she also got a goal in the last game as well. So I noticed that before the game. I was thinking, oh, she's number 4, so she obviously just doesn't play a traditional number 4, but that was fantastic from her.
Yeah, I suppose it was possibly dropping short from Kathy, and she read it really well and got in on the end of it, so that'll give Moneyglass a great boost now. I suppose as we kind of come into the second half of the first half here.
From an Errigal point of view though, you know, they'll be looking around going, why, what were we all doing? There was 3 of them there, and they were ball watching.
Yeah,
and they were caught out like by a smaller player. You shouldn't be doing that under your goals. I know it sounds harsh, but I mean that's a reality.
Yeah, I suppose they'll be disappointed with the way that they've conceded that goal, but I suppose look, that work rate there from your Errigal teammates there in terms of getting that ball turned over and getting themselves now set up the pitch to kind of go and respond to that goal now as well.
Is it too easy to say that the penalty just turned this game?
I think, yeah, like Errigal have had a couple of goal chances there that have been well stopped by Moneyglass, but it's definitely given Moneyglass a bit of hope, I suppose, at a time when Errigal were very much dominant over Moneyglass in that first period. So I think Moneyglass have really kicked on now in the last 10 minutes, and they've showed that converting that 1-1 whereas Errigal probably need to get themselves settled, I would say, in that forward line, and a bit of composure there. Another wide ball, as we've seen, so it'll be interesting to see who kind of takes the lead now in the final 10 minutes.
It will. Brona Devlin, great kick out. Finds her teammate right over hugging the far side. This is Aoife Leahy, number 5, coming out, pops it out to Cleana Griffin. Moneyglass really playing extremely well now, knitting together their play really well, and they seem to be comfortable, shall we say, in the way that they play now. It's their game at the minute. There is that threat from Errigal now and again with that pace, and it does open up a few things, but as you say, Emer, they haven't been able to finish it off really. They've just got the 2 points on the board now, those 2 from Aoife Horrisk early on, but they should definitely have had more. But it's their sort of sporadic attacks with that danger, and then it's Moneyglass at the other end who have lots of good possession and they use it wisely most of the time, but they've just given it away. And Shannon Quinn, I'm going to call her Shannon Quinn sometimes, Shannon Cunningham in there to nip in and win possession for her team, but it's broken down there, and that will suit Moneyglass. And if Moneyglass get their noses in front, as Clan found out, they're very, very hard to beat.
Yeah, that was really brave there from Claire Canavan, going in for that ball. So both teams, there's been a couple of turnovers, just been kind of giving it away over the last few minutes, and the game's kind of been up and down the pitch quite a bit. So I'd say the team kind of need to settle it down now, and get a bit of composure on the ball as well.
Well, this is Emer Corrigan, the captain, trying to get her team going, and this is number 15, Maeve Corrigan, coming out the field, and they are trying to compose now, but it's a different kind of game when you're not transitioning, because there's Brona Devlin and the rest of the Moneyglass players are sitting in there now, and they have a lot of players, they're not marking players, they're sitting in there and they're just stopped the play, and then big ball launched down into the corner looking for Aoife Horrisk, but look, nobody in white anywhere near her now. She's capable of going her own, and she is trying to go on her own, but it's just gone out of play, and that's what happened with Claire Canavan a few minutes ago as well. And that's what you were saying, Emer, you know, it's all very well having that, but you know, if there's no end product, it's no good.
Yeah, I suppose, you know, Niamh McIntosh is obviously taking Horrisk, but she had another player straight over away to double up on her, to prevent Horrisk getting in on that inside line. So I think Moneyglass have got themselves really well set up at the back to try and keep Aoife Horrisk quiet, which is not an easy task.
We saw Anya Devlin there with a good kick out, getting possession, and that's really key to Moneyglass, because as you're seeing now, they keep possession really well and move it through the hands really well. So the press from Errigal Ciaran wasn't effective, and Moneyglass now, look at the runners coming in on the angles again, really, really impressive. Cleana Griffin now taking them all on her own, and nearly gets there. Good tenacious play by her, and still diving in on that one. And the referee is letting the play go, and now he gives a free out to Errigal. And Errigal's defence working really, really hard, but I just feel that Moneyglass are just a slightly better team at the minute, and for me they're the better bet right now. But long, long way to go. And maybe it is just that experience at this level, and Moneyglass have had that more over the last 2 or 3 years, and they've come through 2 really tough away games. They went to Glenfin and Donegal and won, and they went to Lurgan. Or rather, no, I'm talking about Errigal Ciaran, getting mixed up. Let's just go back to the play. Kathy Carey now for Moneyglass should finish this. Oh, that's not ended up in the net, has it? It has ended up in the net. Oh, that's another cruel, cruel blow for Errigal Ciaran. That's 2 goals that really were very preventable. 2 absolute gifts. I thought it was going over the bar, but then it dropped in. Watch it again here. And it's Carey getting free. I'm sure she was going for a point, and that has to be said. That's a disaster for Errigal to concede those 2 goals.
Yeah, it's unfortunate just the way that goal went in, but it was a great turnover once again by Leah Stewart to get in. She's working really hard in that forward line, and making it really difficult for Errigal to try and get out.
Because this is what happened to Clan in the last game. They conceded 2 goals in the first half, and they couldn't get back into the game. They were just shut out by Moneyglass. But Moneyglass, when they get forward and when they go for it, they're so impressive. Now, those 2 goals have been a bit fortunate, yes, but their approach play has been so good at times. I was trying to explain, actually, it was Moneyglass who beat Breda, of course, away, and they beat Clan away. So they have come through 2 really tough games. Errigal came through Glenfin away, and then they beat Lurgan. So they both really, really deserve to be here. And they're both in the final on merit, no doubt about that. Now Errigal pumping it forward, as you say, to Aoife Horrocks, really closely marked by Niamh McIntosh, gets away, but then another challenge coming in, and it's from Aoife Leahy, and she comes in and puts her player to the ground and concedes a free. They got back there, and that was a rare one. Look at them holding on to each other. That is a heck of a match up there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great battle between Niamh McIntosh and Aoife Horrocks. I suppose that link-up play game between Maria Canavan and Aoife Horrocks. Maria's probably playing a bit deeper, and Horrocks trying to hold that high line or keep deep for Errigal as well. But that was well stopped, I would say, by Niamh McIntosh. Probably did what she had to do in terms of she knew she was the last woman back and getting a foul in. So this is a tricky enough now free for Aoife, but she has, I suppose, a small win possibly on her back. So
she put one over, I think, from the first one of the game, exactly from here, so she's well capable. I think on YouTube somebody's telling me, Kate's saying that it's Caitlin Graffin, not Caitlin Griffin. There's a Griffin and a Graffin out there. Now that's dangerous actually, and it just drops over the bar rather than under as it did at the other end. But yeah, no, I did know it was Graffin. So it's Graffin at number 2 for Moneyglass, Griffin at number 10. We've clarified that one, and that's a point for Errigal, and that's only 3 points they've scored so far after 24 minutes, all from Aoife Horrocks, 2 from frees, but at least it is getting them back into the game on the scoreboard, because they trail now by 7-3, but it's their first point in a long time. But interesting that it was that ball through to a one-on-one with McIntosh on Horrocks. That's maybe Errigal's best outlet, but it's not easy to isolate the two of them in there, and then leave McIntosh, such a great player marker as well. Moneyglass, brilliant work by them again, getting it through the middle, and there's a run off the shoulder now. That's fantastic from Maria O'Neill. She came up behind, she must have given her a shout, and now she's clear, and she might get a goal here. She does. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant from O'Neill. Maria gets the 3rd goal of the first half from Moneyglass, and it's been a really productive half from them. They could have been 5 down, the penalty was put wide, and boy have they come back since then, and that's sensational work from the Antrim County player. Brilliant run, brilliant finish.
Yeah, that was great pace from Maria. She made that late run off the player, driving with the ball, and was able then to finish it as well. A great finish into that bottom left-hand corner.
And it was all the way from the goalkeeper as well, the whole move up the field. You know, it wasn't just that as well, but it was terrific play from Maria O'Neill. And it's a 3rd goal, 3-1-3, and you would start to worry for Errigal Ciaran at this stage. They didn't take that opportunity, that penalty, and I did think at the time it might really come back to haunt them, and that's how it feels at the minute, because 3 goals before half time is an awful lot in a senior final, especially against this Moneyglass team, who could very easily just shut up shop in the second half and keep them out and get the victory. This is Claire Canavan now coming forward, Aoife Horrocks, but they're both quite a long way from goal, and Moneyglass now have 14 players behind the ball. Aoife Horrocks trying to find a way through, and she doesn't. She runs in instead to Sarah O'Neill. They're still going, trying to find a way through, but it's a forest of blue jerseys, and Moneyglass, I think, are going to get the decision. They do, and this is exactly what Moneyglass can do. And, you know, Errigal, they're trying to go through the middle, and it's just not going to work, and you would fear for them at this stage, going by the way that Clonairin game went in the last day, because they're going to be so strong tactically, and I think they'll go in at half time and say, right, what we have here, and that's the way it's going at the minute, unless Errigal can find some way to unlock them. And you know, the pace seems to be working when Moneyglass are coming up at them, but if Moneyglass sit in, the pace isn't going to work as well, surely.
Yeah, I suppose Moneyglass are getting lots of numbers back there to try and fill that space for Errigal to run into. At the minute, Errigal are kind of falling into them traps in terms of trying to go through that middle, and they probably need to get a bit wider and get their players up the pitch a bit quicker. But Moneyglass are very well set up the back and are now, I suppose, kind of managing this game and seeing out this first half as well.
They are. Rebecca Bradley now comes across, and she's got support back here if she needs it. But now the thing is, Emer, they don't have to force it. You know, they've got themselves into a great position, the kind of position they'd love to be in. They don't have to force it. But I like seeing them forcing it. I like seeing them go forward, because they're so good going forward as well. And they get it again. This is brilliant. So many players just coming off the shoulder like Griffin. And, well, actually that one's gone wide. But again, good, strong support play going forward, and the threat always there. And lots of energy. But it's Errigal now with a chance. 2.5 minutes to half time. It's funny enough, they've scored 3 times, and Errigal have only scored 4 times, or Sorry, I'm looking at Erg. I'm thinking, what's that? So that's Ergnats, of course. So 3-1. They've only scored 4 times, but 3 of them have been goals. Errigal get it from the kick out despite the press, but only just. But then on the second ball, they come in and they tackle tenaciously and they win it back again. It's that work rate, isn't it? And it's Leah Stewart again.
Yeah, they're working really hard. If they don't win the ball the first time off that kick out, they're putting really big pressure onto Errigal Ciaran. Backs coming out, they're winning those second and those dirty balls. Really, I think Moneyglass are winning a high percentage of them against Errigal, so they're working really hard to try and force those turnovers as well.
Yeah, it's intensity and the challenge to win the ball back, and then when they have it, they're so confident at popping it around as well. And they have so many good ball players out there. This is Maria O'Neill. They just have a real balance about them that they didn't maybe have at times in the last 2 or 3 years. And they've got it together now, and they look the real deal, I have to say. This is Emer Corrigan, the Errigal captain. They look a bit shell-shocked at the minute. It's got a bit dull here. The lights have gone on in the stand on the far side. They might need them on the floodlights as well for the second half. Referee says no foul there. Horace again unable to get the ball. And whereas Moneyglass, when they come forward, they have a lot of options and players supporting each other. It seems with Errigal, it seems to be just get it into Aoife and then try and support, and it's not really working. Not at the minute, but now they get a chance to come forward with Moore, and she gives it into Maria Canavan. Will she try one from there? Well, that's a lovely pass instead. That's a wise option, because she saw Elle McNamee over this side and she saw Horace. She's capable of putting it here, but good defending from McIntosh, just holding her up and making sure she doesn't get a chance on that right foot, and Errigal forced to come back out again. Now they need to be composed, they need to be patient here. Shannon Cunningham now just holding the play up and waiting for support for them now, and there's a pretty obvious push on the back there to give that one away from Griffin, and that's going to be a free in, and it looks a painful one as well for Brona McAleer, and a chance here for a point just before half time, or an added time at the end of the first half, and Errigal could really do with it.
Yeah, that was a good composed move from Errigal.
That was better, yeah.
They probably just need to bring that bit more into their game, and in the second half, I would say. They worked the ball well around whenever the shot wasn't on, and then were able to draw that foul from Moneyglass as well.
Yeah, do you know what I mean about the Horace thing? It's almost like they're relying on getting it into her, and if that doesn't work, where do you go? That's the problem, but they have a free here, and that was better, so they need to vary it up a little bit. And Maria has not scored yet, but hasn't had that many opportunities, but usually she would put this over. She did put one wide earlier on, but should be okay, and indeed it is. 4 scores each, but 3 goals for St Ergnats. Moneyglass means that they lead by 6. That's Maria. She'll be glad to get on the target, get her first score of the game, and Devlin there gives that nice and short as well to Aoife Leahy, and it was the player making herself available, but Anya Devlin there is also very adept at those kickouts as well, and she's not afraid to give it, sort of in the style of a Monica McGurk there. You know, she's not afraid to give it, and even though there's players around her, I thought that was going to be a yellow card there, but it was just a tick for Maria Canavan, and it was on Griffin. Sore one.
Yeah, I suppose just on Anya's kickouts, like they're she has the ability to come in. Obviously she's played outfield and transition now into the goalkeeper role, but you can tell, I suppose, that she's played outfield in terms of like her distribution skills are excellent, and the way that she can find the pockets for Moneyglass. Majority of Moneyglass kickouts have gone short into those little pockets of space, so that's a real outlet, I suppose, for Moneyglass. They can really build on their kickouts and their transition from there.
Well, if this was Sky Sports, we'd have maybe the percentages from the kickouts, but I'm guessing that Moneyglass have won most of their own kickouts, maybe 80-90%, whereas Errigal maybe about 50 at the most.
Yeah, Errigal are finding it very difficult to get out, whereas Moneyglass in their transition is very strong at the minute as well. That's
brilliant though from Errigal Ciaran. That's much better to win it, and now they've a chance. They've got players coming forward, and they've caught a few Moneyglass players up the pitch, and they've got it to Horace. They've got it now. Is she going to go for a run score? She releases it, but so much hard work there by the Moneyglass players, and I think that was Maria O'Neill who got back there with the tackle, and she got a block in. Now what's the decision here? Is it a free out? I'm not quite sure. Is it half time? He's blowing for half time. That was an opportunity there, but look at that tackle coming in from Maria O'Neill. And to me, that sums up the first half for Moneyglass. You know, they have that intensity and that drive and determination to get back and block and to help each other.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you there, Jerome. The defensive, I suppose, structure from Moneyglass has been very impressive, and then on top of that, then their work rate, I suppose, all over the pitch. You know, you talk about Lee Stewart getting those couple of turnovers in the forward line, and then you look at that last play there as well. Maria O'Neill busting herself to get back and make that block as well. So I suppose Errigal will probably take a bit of happiness with the fact that they have kind of composed themselves in that last 10 minutes. They were able to get in on goal a few times as well, but they'll be looking to really, I suppose, claw themselves back into this game now in the second half.
To me, the big question is how Moneyglass play it in the second half. I mean, to me, they're going well the way it's going at the minute, but they might decide, as they did against Clonera, or so it seemed that day, you know what, we don't need to force this. We've got a lead here. We can keep them out. We kept Clonera to a point, and we don't need to win pretty here. We can win ugly. So it depends if they go that way or the other way, doesn't it? Yeah,
I suppose like Moneyglass have real experience heads on the pitch, and they've been there before in terms of that Clonera game, so they'll be I suppose eyeing up now the second half. It will be very interesting to see how they do set up, whether they go for it or kind of try to contain Errigal. But you'd imagine, we kind of saw there glimpses of it in the last few minutes, that there is always a goal chance in Errigal as well, and that firepower. You'd imagine I'd imagine that the game will open up a bit more for Errigal in the second half as well, for the likes of Aoife Horsk and Canavan. But it's whether, I suppose, Moneyglass decide just to contain them and drop a few numbers back as well. It'll be interesting to see how they set up.
It will be. We'll find out. We'll be back in about 7 or 8 minutes' time. The lights are on, the teams are out, the referees out, all systems go for the second half, the AIB Senior Championship final in Ulster. The other provinces have finished their games. Kilmacud won last week in Leinster, and they will be playing the winners from this today. But who will it be? Errigal Ciaran with Maria Canavan there, scraping that one up off the ground for her team. And I think that's 15, that's Mia Corrigan. It is, of course, back there, but hard to see the numbers in some of the Errigal Ciaran jerseys, but that was Maeve back there for them, and this is Maria again. So what is going to happen in the second half? Shannon Cunningham now trying to go forward, and does brilliantly actually. She's looking for a little bit of support here, I feel, and she has got it off to her left. She was calling for it there, Corrigan, and got it. Tough challenge going in, with the referee says nothing wrong with that, but they release it, and there's a chance here of a score for Errigal, but they're being kept out by Moneyglass just at the minute. And look, the hands go up, they're diving in there, trying not to foul, but they have fouled. And this, I feel, is the way the second half is going to go, Emer Smith. It's going to be Errigal pressing and Moneyglass defending desperately. Yeah,
like you look at the number of Moneyglass jerseys back there straight away whenever Canavan was lining up for the shot, and then they definitely weren't letting Aoife Horsh get through easily as well. But I suppose it's a good positive start for Errigal in the second half, and this will be a tight free now for Maria if she goes to shoot.
Yeah, she's looking around her. She doesn't want to shoot from there, and she's giving it away. It's been intercepted from Moneyglass, and they have a chance now to transition, because the Errigal players are all committed up into attack, and this is Maria O'Neill, and she's going through. Wow, she's becoming an absolutely brilliant player. Leaves it off for Kathy Carey to finish it, and she does. Brilliantly finished, and that's a blow for Errigal Ciaran. And Kathy Carey there says that's the way to do it. What a start to the second half. Fascinating game so far. And it is Moneyglass on the up at the start of the second half. And what mentally, Emer, will that do to a team when you should have maybe got a kick at goal and you end up conceding within seconds at the other end?
Yeah, I suppose it's disappointing for Maria. The short option probably was on, but it was well read by Sarah O'Neill. I think got in, and then the pace from O'Neill to get up the pitch and lay it off to Kathy Carey as well.
I'm talking about pace. That is Griffin, Cleana Griffin going forward. She has terrific pace. There's lots of pace on this team. They have great balance about them now, Moneyglass, more so than they had the last few years. And they just went for the jugular there, and they punished Errigal Ciaran for that mistake a couple of minutes ago there, and they got their score, and now they're camped in the Errigal half and moving it around very confidently here. 17 is Laura McCann. She's been on from the start. They had 2 late changes. And Leah Stewart wearing number 4, but up in the forwards as well. That is also something to watch out for. Aoife Leahy gives it out to Maria O'Neill, and she finishes it. Well, she now looks like the real deal, and Moneyglass looked like the real deal.
Yeah, Moneyglass are really working their angles very well. They're coming down that left flank a lot, and then those runs are coming in then off into that central zone, and Maria O'Neill picked off a lovely score there on the loop.
Yeah, absolutely did. And as I say, she really seems to be the complete player now. She was a finisher, but now she's out and she's making so much happen for her team. She used to sort of get in the end of things, but now it's her making things happen, almost coming into the Cathy Carey role.
Definitely think those two link up very well together in that forward line. It'd be very difficult for any defence to try and hold to no scores as well.
And it's 2 scores at the start of the second half, exactly the start they needed. But Errigal, well, they had a mountain to climb. Now it's even higher. This is Corrigan coming forward. You see there the number 2, Caitlin Graffin. She's only first year of under 16 coming into the shot there, and she's brought youth, energy and all of that to this team as well. New blood, and maybe that's a key as well when you're coming up to this level, and every year it takes 1 or 2 more players, as well as the changes tactically as well, to develop into a team and playing at this level year in year out as well. They've learned, they've come back and they've learned from their experiences, losing to Clonera in Clonera. They've righted that, and now here in the final they look the complete deal, and they've started the second half very, very confidently. And I've been impressed by this girl as well here, the way she takes the ball and goes forward with paces, and she's drawn a free. And Errigal at the minute, to me, are struggling to stay in this, Emma.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to force that last move, possibly whenever Moneyglass had the bodies back. To pass or to try and get through that amount of bodies is very difficult in those conditions. So they might need to just try and work the ball back out around and try and get a bit of hands on the ball and work Moneyglass, I think, a bit more in terms of getting the play wide and getting a bit deep. They're very one-dimensional, I think, Errigal at the minute. I suppose like they'll take some comfort from the fact that they were 4 points down against Lurgan in that semi-final. So, but I think they'll just need to push on here and maybe push out a bit more on Moneyglass as well.
But every ball you see with Moneyglass, there's somebody coming up and saying, give it to me, I'm going to take it on. They're all taking responsibility all over the field, and you saw them bursting through tackles coming out of defence there as well. They are so up for this. There's an intensity and a determination about their play all over the field, every single player.
Yeah, they've got great running power coming out, and we saw that there with Sarah O'Neill and Emma Louise McAreevy there with that running power that they have. So they'll be looking to use that platform in this second half.
And they have a chance here, because here is Brona Devlin. She's got in behind and she'll just finish that and put it over the bar, and she has, and that's 3 in a row for Moneyglass at the start of the second half. And the Antrim captain applying the finish. The work was done out the field, but Errigal caught sleeping a little bit. There was 3 of them around there, but nobody watching Brona Devlin drifting in behind, and 6 minutes in they have stretched their lead, and it's now a 9-point game, and that's Emma Louise McAreevy in a bit of bother there, but her team are certainly not in bother at all. What can Errigal do? What do you think?
Yeah, I suppose that was a lovely score there from Brona Devlin. She wasn't really going to miss from that range. A player of her quality. Errigal are finding it very difficult to try and get out of that Moneyglass forward line press. We see the way that they've set up again here in terms of that zonal marking, so it's very difficult. They need to try and get wide and get numbers around the ball to support the play out as well.
Yeah, it's more a sort of a team effort, but at the minute they just look a little bit deflated at times. It's like, as a game goes on like this, you can see a team and, there's a blow. That's the referee isn't going to give a free, but he is going to hold that up because there was a knock there. Now, there was nothing deliberate about that, but obviously has to stop the play for that. But yeah, you just get a feel sometime in games where one team is on top and the other team, as the game goes on, they gradually lose a little bit of morale, just slowly. Maybe it's only a couple of % or whatever, but they just start maybe saying to themselves, we can't beat this team, we can't handle this team, they're just too good, they've too many answers and we don't know individually or team-wise how to deal with it. And as I say, I think it's just experience maybe at this level, and Moneyglass have learned so much over the few years. But maybe Errigal can bring a few players on, maybe if they get a break. But I don't really think there's many teams who could come back from 9 points down against Moneyglass and win. Certainly not at this stage. It looks to be Moneyglass's day, and it would be a huge day for them after losing in the final a few years ago to come back and win it today. But they're looking extremely good at the minute. They really are. 7-8 minutes in. This looks like it could be a bit of a lengthy stoppage. It's the number 7 for Moneyglass, Rebecca Bradley. She looks to be okay now. Both players to their feet, thankfully. Now, are we going to get a substitution? I'm not quite sure. Brendan says we can get on with it, so we go again. And it's Griffin from Moneyglass. Every single player wants the ball. They release it quickly, but that's a little bit too quick. But there is going to be a free there. The referee has spotted an infringement. And everything at the minute going quite comfortably for the Antrim team. And Antrim, by the way, have never won this senior championship. No club from Antrim has ever won it. St Paul's a few years ago, when they had their great run before Moneyglass came through and won 5 in a row, they won, but they played at intermediate level and got to an All-Ireland club final. But no Antrim team has ever won the AIB Ulster Senior Club Championship, but that may be about to change today. The championship actually started way back, and in 23-24, of course, Clonairin won 2 in a row. St McCartans from Tyrone won it in 2017, but no Antrim team ever. So this really, when you put it in that sort of context, Emer, it would be a huge achievement. Yeah,
100%, and you can see Antrim football they're definitely on the rise in terms of the county scene, and you know, Moneyglass are obviously a big part of that, with a number of players playing on that county team, and you can really see that they've brought that I suppose real professionalism, and I suppose, you know, you can see it in their skill set and tactical awareness as well, in their gameplay here today as well.
Yeah, just to give it context, St Paul's won, I think, 9 Antrim championships in a row, and they were winning them with ease. And then Moneyglass 5 years ago, or was it 4 years ago now, I remember seeing them. That's a good score for Errigal. They really needed that. And it was Aoife Horrisk, of course. Let's watch it again here. Maria, and again they look for Horrisk, and she is some player. She's turned into a really good finisher. She's been so impressive this year. But yeah, just to go back to that point, then Moneyglass came and played a county final against St Paul's. I think St Paul's were going for 10 in a row, something like that, up at Davits, and they blew them away in the first half, with like 3 goals in the first 15 minutes. Kathy Carey was brilliant, the Devlins, that kind of thing, and they were superb, and they've won 5 in a row now, and St Paul's can't get back at them at all, so they've been the kings there. And there is something about that, Emer, consistency. A club team needs to come back year after year.
Definitely, I suppose that gives them the experience to build on those Ulster campaigns as well. You know, they obviously, Moneyglass have been in an Ulster final before, but you can definitely see that they are experienced here in this game today, whereas obviously Errigal haven't been involved in that type of an environment before as well. So it definitely helps their gameplay today. And
then you've strength and depth as well. I mean, they made a couple of changes before the start, but the changes, as you see, Niamh Neeson there, 23, and Laura McCann, they've been brilliant. So you need strength and depth as well, and they've got that now too. And now that ball's going to be kicked away, and it is kicked away, and it's given straight to Mary Traynor. Or no, Mary Traynor was 28. Who's 27? Emily Loughran, sorry. That must have been a change for Errigal, who I didn't spot earlier. Now Kathy Carey. Kathy just pops it into Devlin. Looks for the return and gets it, but there was a foul from behind there that the referee spotted, so doesn't need to get it back from play. She gets it back from a free, as we watch exactly what happened there again. And it's interesting for me, I was wondering what Kathy Carey's role in the team was these days. I was talking about 4 years ago, she was the central person, and now it's almost like she's around the fringes. She's not doing all that, but still very effective obviously for the team.
Yeah, she can pop up anywhere really. Kathy Carey, she's so experienced and quite a versatile player as well. You'd imagine now she might have a go for this free kick, but she kicked a lovely score there a few minutes ago as well, so she can really apply herself anywhere in the pitch.
And off she goes again and puts that in nicely and gets a return. Oh, lovely little feint. That's classic Carey, but not the finish. There was a change there for Errigal Ciaran, by the way. I think they took off Mary Traynor maybe and brought on 17, I think, come on. So Niamh Quinn. Would that be? Yeah, so change for Errigal Ciaran. but it's now 3, 4 to 5 points. 5 points. And if you consider Clan only scored 8 points in the last game, it's some going by Moneyglass, it really is. There's Neeson again. She's been so impressive for me. There's a lot of supporters down to my left here. That's why I wasn't talking there for a minute. They're having the crack. I don't know what that's about, but over here on this side, the boys are enjoying something, whatever they're doing. They don't seem to be focusing on the game, which we will do. So Sarah O'Neill coming forward again. Her sister is inside. She might look for her, looks for Kerry instead, and Kerry carries it forward and she's fouled. Referee is given advantage and now brings it back. And Moneyglass really controlling proceedings. Referee waving another substitute on. Who's that coming on? It's quite hard to see those numbers. It's another Errigal number and another Errigal change. 13 is it coming off, which would be Kelly McCaffrey, and I don't know the number coming on, but it's basically a full forward for a full forward, and it looks like, is that, well, Shannon Cunningham's going over to the side, not to go off but just have a word with the management, so wondering what maybe the restructuring is about. But it is all Moneyglass at the minute, and 5 points. When you see 5 points after 3/4 of a game, that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose Moneyglass have been very strong, quite clinical coming forward. They're working that left flank quite a lot. A lot of their scores are coming down this left side. You know, Kerry linking up there with Sarah O'Neill and her powerful running. So Errigal kind of need to possibly get that stopped, so they can kind of get some turnovers from there as well.
Do teams do that deliberately to go down one side? I know a few years ago the Clan manager told me that they did actually deliberately go down one side to draw the team over to that side so they could transfer the ball. So there's so much going on like that, isn't there?
Yeah, I think, you know, when you think of the players that Moneyglass have at their disposal, they're all very strong on that right foot, so they have the ability to come in then off that left flank. So it'll be interesting. I think in the first half they used that quite a lot in terms of loading their players on that side, so they're obviously kind of deploying the same strategy then again in the second half.
I think that looked like number 10 on the back of that jersey. Now it's dropped short, it doesn't matter, but I'm trying to figure out, or is that 10? I thought 10 went off for Errigal Ciaran McNamee. Is that 10 who's on the ball there? It's very hard to see those numbers, but it looked like it, so maybe I got that one wrong a few minutes ago. But anyway, let's follow the play as Errigal go for another score from a really tight angle, and it reminded me of the goal in the first half that sort of changed the game. Never mind the penalty miss, it was that goal from Leah Stewart played into that angle at that back post. Now somebody messaged me at half time to suggest maybe there was a square ball about it, but to me there might have been, but you know, it was the opportunism by Leah Stewart getting in there and Errigal watching the ball in the air, and she got in there for a small player, and you know, it kind of summed up the way the game has gone. They've been so alert, so energetic and so creative as well, and so determined, and they got that goal and they haven't really looked back. And this girl has been fantastic, Maria O'Neill. She glides around there and gives it to Brona Devlin, who puts it over with the greatest of ease and says thanks very much. And they do that a lot, don't they? They carry it forward, and as a player just waiting there, they just hand it to her and she just shoots it over the bar. Yeah,
that was a lovely score. Obviously the good strong run from Maria O'Neill, and then Brona Devlin on that loop is a lovely score. We were sitting right behind that one, and she stuck it really well.
You know, I was saying at half time, are they going to sit in? They're not. They haven't needed to. You know, Errigal haven't got enough to go at them, so they're just expressing themselves here and just enjoying themselves. And here's probably another one for Brona, and well, it's off the bar and very, very close, but might still get their score. And it's Leah Stewart again, and she gets her score again. And it is one-way traffic, and I'm just wondering now, you know, they're actually looking so good. And okay, it's maybe looking good one day and it mightn't be the same the next day, but I'd say Kilmacud Crooks, even though we're really, really good and experienced at All-Ireland level, we saw them last week and we did the game down in Tullamore, they'll be looking at this and thinking these girls are good.
Yeah, without doubt. Like Moneyglass are a great team. They've got, you know, great players all over the pitch, and a really electric forward line as well, have we seen. They're playing with a lot of freedom, it looks like, out there, and as you said, Jerome, they look to be really enjoying themselves on the pitch as well, which is nice to see. The
two O'Neill sisters have been terrific. I mean, centre half forward and centre half back, and they're everywhere, and you know, they've really developed over the last 2 or 3 years. They were good players, but now really, really good. And that's Sarah again. They're real leaders on the team. They've really stepped up and they're looking for the ball all the time, and they're, as I say, enjoying every moment out there. And why not? You know, they lost the final a couple of years ago, and they'd some very heartbreaking defeats like down in Clonerain, and Clonerain did them that day. And you know, it was one of those ones you wondered, will they come back from this? And boy, have they come back from it. They've been terrific, and a rugby tackle there on Aoife Leahy, and that sums up the game. They just can't hold them. They can't stop them, rather, you know. And it was Caelan McCann there with that challenge initially, and yeah, they're just really struggling to just contain them. They can't.
Yeah, I suppose like the last 7 chances, really, Moneyglass have pinned them in, and Errigal just can't get out. I think the Moneyglass are just managing this game really well over the last period. So yeah, they've picked off a couple of lovely scores as well, and Errigal just at the minute just can't really get the ball out. I see Aoife Horsk has dropped a lot deeper now. She seems to kind of be playing in that midfield role to try and help them get the ball up the pitch, but she's not really, I suppose, getting her hands on the ball probably as much as Errigal would like, and she's obviously very far away from goal from that standpoint as well. But yeah, look, Moneyglass look very composed and very much in control here. Yeah,
they're winning every battle all around the field, and everyone is up for it. They're all looking for the ball, and the game's over, let's be honest. There's 12 minutes to go, but there's no way that they're going to come back from this. They've only scored 5 times, and I think Aoife, she scored all 5? 4 of them anyway. Have you got notes of them? Or yeah,
4 for Maria.
4.
Or 4 for
Aoife
and
1 for Maria.
1 for Maria.
Yeah, but they just haven't had it. And like 3 of them are maybe frees, maybe even 4 of them, you know. So it's just not happening for them today. They'll live to come back another day, but there's something to be said at this level. I mean, have you found, you were with Derry Connolly this year and you get up to senior. Sorry, let me follow this with Leah Stewart before I come back to that. And then it's Emma Louise McAreevy, and she was in the wars, but look at her battling for that ball. The great intensity and tenacity, and then Maria gets a boot in there. That's going to be a free out. But yeah, the point I was going to make, do you find a difference in your experience between county championship and provincial?
Definitely. I think there's obviously a step up there in terms of that level of physicality, and obviously the level of player that you're playing against is definitely a step up. We played against Clonerain in the first round of the Ulster Senior Championship for the first time, and you could tell that obviously they were level above. And when you think that Moneyglass beat them as well, it just shows you the level that Moneyglass are now operating at, in terms of they've possibly had to wait a few years and build on that over the last few years. So it just shows you the level that they are at, and you can see that here today.
And then Clonerain went into the All-Ireland, and they lost at home to Ballymacarbery. As this goes over, does it? No, it goes wide. They lost to Ballymacarbery on their own pitch, and they lost the following year. It was a step too much for them, and then you have the likes of Ballymacarbery went forward and they got easily beaten, and Kilmacud Crooks have won 4 Leinsters in a row, and they haven't won an All-Ireland because Kilkerran and Clonberne are another level above them, not just individually but team-wise, tactically, and just a special group of players. But knowing how to play at that level seems to be so key, and you need to be there a number of years in a row, it seems.
Definitely. I think the experience, obviously whenever you come out of that the Ulster level to step up into that All-Ireland stage, it's a big step up, and the teams that are competing at that level are probably a level above then in terms of Ulster football as well. So it'll be great now for whoever obviously takes today's win to go out and enjoy the challenge, I suppose, of competing in that All-Ireland series from there as well.
Do you think there's one factor? We've talked about a lot of things today, but is there one main factor when you look at it? Is it individual players? Is it just the intensity that you bring to the game? Is it knowing what each other are doing? Is it knowledge of playing at that level? From what I see here at the minute, it's just the intensity of every single player from Moneyglass out there.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of both. I think generally Moneyglass are really well set up. Defensively, they all know what they're doing in terms of that defensive unit, and they have that tactical awareness in terms of the way that they set up that press on the Errigal kick out as well. So that tactical knowledge along with that skill set as well is really setting them apart today.
And Horace, I think, has got another score. It's going to drop short. It might even now end up on the net. I think it has, but is it going to be allowed? The referee is walking in as maybe disallowed. It has been disallowed. Square ball. So basically Moneyglass can play it anyway, and that's what you need at this level. That's what you need to be able to do. I remember seeing Kilkerran a few years ago down at Ballymac, about 2 years ago down at Dungarvan, on the most terrible day, the rain coming down really, really heavily, and they were able to play their game still. And every pass was superb. And last week, Kilmacud Crooks, they don't hang around, they don't solo the ball too much, they move the ball quickly, and every pass is to chest, at the right height.
Yeah, I suppose at that level they're operating as a one unit in terms of those teams, in terms of Kilmacud, and then obviously Kilkerran Clonberne as well. Like, they've been around the block, those players a long time, and they're very experienced heads. I know there's a lot of sisters and stuff in the team as well.
The Noons, the Wards, terrific players. And in a way they're lucky. They're just like a generational thing there. You get a group like Dunnamoyne were in Ulster here, the Courtneys and all those sort of girls, in the way that they all played together, I guess.
100%, it definitely stands to them in terms of playing as a tight-knit group there.
So Moneyglass 7 minutes from glory, and it is glory now. Do you know what we need to talk about now, Emer? Player of the match. I'm glad I remembered that, because they'd be on at me in the next couple of minutes, it says. So let's think about this. Let's think about player of the match. I'll talk about the play, and then you come up with a couple of names, and then I'll disagree with you. How about that? That's how it works. No, I'm only joking. But in the last game we went for Abby Connor, good player of the match, and she had an eventful day, shall we say. But in this one here, obviously it's going to be a Moneyglass player. And well, Aoife Horrisk has had a great game, and another day you might be looking at her, but it will be from Moneyglass here, making a change, by the way. Is that, I can't really see those numbers from a distance. That's 15. It's Eleanor Malzo's coming on, and it looks like Laura McCann going off. That's the change for them. So good to see Eleanor getting on. She's been a great servant to them down the years, and she's one of the players that bleeds Moneyglass, and great to see her coming on this historic day for the club with 6 minutes to go. And there she is, getting on the ball. And now Niamh Neeson, she's been so good for me, bursting out of defence all the time. And that challenge is fair, says the referee, so they keep going, and it's Malin again, runs into traffic but knows to get out of it, and is fouled indeed, and it's going to be a free for them, and she just hands it to her old mate Kathy Carey. And to be fair, it's great for the likes of Kathy Carey as well, the Antrim captain for so many years, and saw them get a few trophies in the last few years and have some glory days. But now, as she's entering her, shall we say, mid-30s, I'll not go any closer than that, but good to see her now having success with her club. And there's Leah Stewart, and just didn't compose herself at the last minute. Gives us a chance then. Who do you think, player of the match?
I think there's a large number of players that could probably pick it up today. You mentioned there obviously Aoife Horrisk on the scoreboard quite heavily for Errigal today, but I suppose we're probably looking more so towards Moneyglass from that side. I suppose there's players all over the pitch there. When you look at the likes of Marie O'Neill, obviously scoring a goal and a point today, and I think she's been really central to all that's been good about Moneyglass as well. You look at her sister Sarah then, O'Neill coming playing at that six role. She's really been a real driving force, I think, for Moneyglass. That transitional play coming out of the back. I suppose the other two then, in terms of...
Oh, it might be a goal. No, they survive Errigal Ciaran, but just about. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I was just going to say there, player that's been involved up front as well for Moneyglass is Leah Stewart, and the tenacious nature of her and the way that she plays and tackles. She never really gave up on anything, as you can see obviously from that first goal, and took a lovely score then as well in the second half. And then obviously you have the running power then of Cleona Griffin. I thought it was excellent in that first half as well, with really driving Moneyglass forward whenever they needed it.
Yeah, I'd agree with all them. I had all them marked down, apart from Cleona Griffin. I wasn't thinking about her, but now you mentioned it, absolutely she deserves to be in there too for her energy as well. And Niamh Neeson as well, I thought was very, very good. As I said a few times, she was good. So how do you pick one from all of those? That's the thing. Can we give it to the twins as one award maybe, you think, or are they twins, the O'Neills? I think they are, maybe not. Maybe they're just sisters, but either way you could give it to both of them as one award. But Leah Stewart, yeah, I suppose if you think of that goal that she got in the first half, that sort of turned the game, maybe she deserves it, but we're going to have to pick one.
Yeah, I suppose.
I've got one.
Go on, you go first then.
No, actually, I've just changed my mind. I'm gonna hem and haw a wee bit about it. I'm gonna go for one of the O'Neills. I was gonna go for Maria, but then Sarah has actually been so influential in the second half defensively and going forward. I'm thinking maybe Sarah.
Yeah, I think they've both been definitely standout players for them, and it's obviously a proud day for their family here watching them both today.
Maria probably gets loads of awards. Sarah probably doesn't get as many.
Yeah, I suppose either or. They've both been very influential for Moneyglass, and would both should be very proud of their performances today.
Right. Are you happy with Sarah then?
Go for that, yeah, definitely. Very
I'm not
well
trying to
deserved.
put words in your mouth now. If you want to go for Leah Stewart or Cleona Griffin or anyone else, or somebody gets a goal in the last minute here, and there's Leah Stewart in tackling. We're going with Sarah?
Yeah, very well deserved.
All
from
right,
Sarah
all right.
today.
I'm hitting send here. I'm hitting send. Moneyglass number 6 is getting it. And this is the number 4, Caelan McCann for Errigal Ciaran, not giving up the ghost. But look, Moneyglass, just of all the options. And I keep looking at the scoreboard, and every time I look at it, 5 points is all Errigal have scored. I mean, that, you know, is another reason to give it to a defender. For Moneyglass, the platform of their success is there, and you know, she's been the centre of, here she is on the ball again. You know, to concede only 5 points in an Ulster senior final, and only 8 points against Cloneraine, and only 1 point in the entire second half against Cloneraine. And I heard about that game, and I heard it was pretty horrific to watch. But I'm watching them today, and I've been pleasantly surprised, I have to say, by Moneyglass. There's an awful lot more to them than that, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. You know, they are very good defensively, but like again, they're able to find the gaps in that forward line from there as well.
And this could be the finishing moment. It's not. They survive, but it does not matter. They might still get scored. Brona Devlin, and it's saved on the line. Brona nearly got her goal, but saved on the line by Corrigan, and Errigal survived. But really, we're just playing out this game. There's only a minute to go of normal time, and it has been a bit of a mismatch in the second half, and you feel sorry for Errigal. Here comes Aoife Horrisk out the field again. They have given it a lot, and they've had a great campaign, and they will learn from it in the same way Moneyglass have learned from it. But they've played a bit like Moneyglass did against Donaghmoyne in the final a couple of years ago. They have to come back and learn from this experience today, and it was the same in the intermediate final. The Knockbride team said they learned from watching Munlahoran last year in Ulster, and came back this year and finished the job themselves this time. Now, I've had a couple of interesting messages. I'll come to that in a second, actually, because let's go back to the play. And it's opened up so much now. There's loads of room here, and you wouldn't really put it past Moneyglass finishing the job here. And they're finding lots of space there. And it's Stewart again. And she really is a great wee player, isn't she? This is the sort of player that a manager would love to have on your team, and she fires that one over the bar. And there's going to be another substitution. In fact, Moneyglass are making 3 subs, so they're emptying the bench. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you try and pick out who is coming on there to mention them, Emer. And I'm going to read out this little line here. And it's from Nuala Graffin. She says, fun fact for you, Jerome. I love a fun fact. Caitlin Graffin, who is number 2 today, first year of under 16 from Moneyglass, played the half-time games at the Ulster final the last time Moneyglass played in this final. So it's only 2022, 3 years ago. She was playing in the half-time game, and now she's out there. Isn't that amazing? And that says it all, I suppose, because Moneyglass have had a lot of the group of same players, but you know, they've new players like that coming through. They're, if you like, they're inspiring the next generation, and they're coming through and bringing that youth and energy to them.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, Moneyglass have that real blend of youth and experience as well, and it's definitely shown today. In terms of their style of play as well, and no doubt they'll be inspiring the next generation of Moneyglass players after today's performance as well.
So who will those subs come on? Do you get them?
Not really.
Okay, I'll try and pick them up as we go along here, even just to give them a mention, because it's nice that they get to play in an Ulster final in the last couple of minutes and say that they played the game. This is one of them, isn't it? So 18, Moneyglass.
That's Danielle Duffin.
Okay, that's 1, and you see you have to wait for them to spin around so you see the numbers. 12 is out there now as well. I see that's the one that fools you on commentary sometimes, because she was listed to start but didn't, but has come in as a sub. So you're looking around for a number over 15, but she's come in and wearing number 12 as a sub. Oh, I thought that was going to be a goal to finish it off. So number 12 is Annie Griffin, so she's 2 with 1 more to go. Don't know if we'll get a chance here. Actually, I've just had a message from Emma Kelly. Thanks, Emma. Jojo Dara, she says. So Jojo Dara is in there. I don't know what number she's in, but she's in. And Jojo got a goal against Breda, by the way. Kathy Carey got 2 goals that day, and Jojo and Maria got 1. And then the last day it was Leah Stewart and Brona Devlin, number 19. Thanks, Emma. And there's another change being made, I think, as well. But yeah, they've sent another player in. There's well, that's 23 Niamh Neeson. She was on from the start. At this minute, it's just trying to give credit to the players who are coming in, or a little mention for them at least. And it is a team effort, a panel effort, so good that they're getting a wee bit of game time. 23, she was, or no, what number was that actually from Moneyglass? Is she new in?
25, Katie McCloskey. Got a good hand in there.
It was 25, yeah, it was over the far side. I couldn't quite see the 5, but that's who it is, so I think that's us up to date. And we're now well into added time, 2.5 minutes in. Now there were a few stoppages, so there might be another little bit of time. But this has been Moneyglass's day. What a performance. Although Errigal might just get a score here. They have 2 or 3 players over. There was a little bit of a mistake there, and it's bounced through, and they might get one. Might even try and force a goal. I doubt it though, and indeed, you know, it's not a penalty, is it? Well, he's looking like it might be. Would be the second penalty of the game if it is, and it is a second penalty. And I think it was Danielle Duffin actually who got the challenge in there. The subby came on it a minute ago, but another penalty. Such a contrast between the first one, you know, when it was so crucial. There were 2 points to 0 up, and it was such a crucial time in the game. When you look back now, you think maybe Moneyglass would have come back anyway. And this time it's going to be Horrisk. It matters not at all now. It'll just make the scoreboard look a little bit better, and it'll take that 0.05 bleak look off it from an Errigal Ciaran point of view if she scores it. But obviously she needs to get it on target. The last one wasn't. But Aoife now taking her time. Could be the last kick of the game. It's not actually, it's Maria. Sorry about that. So it's Maria Canavan at the second time of asking, deep into added time, and Brona Devlin just paws it over the bar and then runs to celebrate, because Moneyglass have made history, the first Antrim team ever to win the AIB Ulster Senior Championship, and today they have been on the money. And what a way to finish it. Brona just pawing that one over the bar. It's been sensational. Defensively, they've only conceded 5 points, and they've conceded 2 penalties, but only conceded 1 point from them. It's been a magnificent performance by them. Our cameraman Kieran is already out in the middle of all that, even though he's a Cloneraine man, but he's putting that to one side because we all have to congratulate Moneyglass today, and Kathy Carey, a big smile on her face. These are fabulous shots at the end here with the kids coming on as well. This is absolutely superb to watch. Right in the middle of it, you see what it means to them, you see the reaction from them. Laura McCann there, she had a terrific game, and that's a nice embrace between a couple of old friends from Ulster University days at Jordanstown. They played together, Shannon Quinn and Kathy Carey, on the same team, and now today contrasting emotions, and all these years later both of them deserve immense credit for still going all these years later for their clubs on this day and driving the next generation. And look, that's Leah Stewart, I think there it is, of course. She got that goal early on, and no wonder she's been lifted up because she was sensational today. And Emer Smith, you have to really give credit, not just to the cameraman here, but to Moneyglass for this historic achievement. Yeah,
I thought that they were excellent today. Right across the pitch, you know, in terms of their performance. Errigal came out very strong in that first half, but they really powered through, and I suppose in that second half they managed the game well. You know, to hold that Errigal Ciaran forward line to just the I suppose 6 points in the end is a really good feat for that Moneyglass team, and really gave them then the platform to build and drive on from there. And I suppose they were quite clinical up front. Obviously the goals in that first half really made the difference and gave them a bit of breathing space to play, and they played some lovely football across the pitch as well. So I'm delighted for the likes of Kathy Carey, those I suppose more experienced players, to get over the line today as well. You know, I suppose they'll celebrate this tonight, and I'm sure they'll now go and give the All Ireland a good rattle as well.
The expression I'm reading into this here is relief. You know, because they've been there a few years, and it looks like they're just relieved to get through this and to win this and to get over the line. And you know, obviously there wasn't a dramatic finish, so they knew they were going to win, but there's just a joy there, a relief that they've come to this level and they've got it.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose it was probably nice for them, the way that the game finished. They possibly knew that they had the game won in the last 6 or 7 minutes coming into it as well. Look, they'll be delighted. I'm sure it is obviously a massive relief to get over the line finally at this Ulster stage for them, considering, you know, the 5 titles that they have in their back pocket with Antrim. So to finally get over the line in that Ulster provincial stage is a great achievement.
And we alluded to it earlier, you know, we talked about Antrim And yes, there's a Donegal man in there who deserves credit, and that is Maxi Curran as well. We saw him in the shots there too. But for Antrim, they're on the up. You know, the last few years under Emma Kelly, they made tremendous progress, and this year they lost in the All-Ireland final after being unbeaten all year. But saffron rising.
Definitely seems to be, I suppose, on the county scene and on that club scene as well. You know, they've got a real youthful players coming up. You can see obviously great skill set, and they were really well organised today. So credit to Maxi Curran and all the coaching staff as well. I thought they really worked well as a unit across the pitch, and yeah, they were a great team, all round performance.
Actually, I should mention Derry as well, because Charlie McCann is a Derry man. And that is Niamh McIntosh you saw in the shot there. She looks as if she can't believe it. She has to go up and lift the trophy, and it'll be a proud moment for the girl, and she won't mind me saying it again, but the girl from Glenariff. And now they have their own ladies football up there, so they have their own team. They didn't have it when she went to Moneyglass, but she is from Glenariff up in the Glens of Antrim, and she is going to go and lift this trophy, and it is very much, as you know, her own country. But she is going to go down in history as the first captain of a ladies football team from Antrim to win this senior title and to get to lift the cup. So you see Errigal Ciaran in the foreground there, and you know, it's a tough time for them right now, but I'm sure they'll be back. A few comments coming in on Facebook. Cathal Boyd, amazing Moneyglass, well done girls. Angela Mohan, congratulations to Kathy Carey, well done Leah, says Brenda Mullen. And Bert Trolin is on as well. We know him from our Antrim coverage as well. Good man Bert, enjoying this as well. And this is definitely a good day for all of Antrim and for ladies football up there in particular. So I'm just waiting now to see if the Moneyglass players are going to go over. They need to get Niamh McIntosh to bring her over, but she's still a little bit stunned from what we saw a minute ago. So there's Niamh Neeson in the shot now as well. So they're not going there just yet. And I think that's Charlie O'Kane coming in there for a wee congratulatory hug from him. He put her in from the start when she wasn't listed, and she certainly delivered today. Jared Laverty on YouTube says absolutely brilliant, so proud. And hopefully now you'll be able to hear Jerry Doherty, the Ulster LGFA president, speaking now. So I'm going to stop and see if we can hear him.
We get our speech.
We're winning team captain. I thought the starting Jerry, but it's not. It's not happening. We're not winning today. We're holding on to presentation. We're also the player of the match. The player of the match.
That's right.
The player of the match today goes to the Ergnats centre half back, number 6, Sarah Reid.
Yep.
This trophy is presented by the Alabama fans.
Come to me first. Good luck. You are going out, Jerry. Come in here first. Right. Perfect. Yes, it's nice. And now come back to the front, to the cameras down there.
Here?
Yeah, now come to here. And no, look that way. See all the cameras?
That way, right, okay. Thank you so much.
And now it gives me great pleasure to present the cup to the winning team captain for St. Ergnats and wish them luck against the All-Ireland in the All-Ireland series.
Come here. No, you just put it up on your own.
Can we both take it?
No, you just put it up first. You just put it up first. You just do.
on the window of McCoy's shop in Moneyglass for the first ladies football training ever in Moneyglass, and started this amazing journey creating a legacy of ladies football in Moneyglass. And for that reason it's such an honour and a privilege for me to be standing here as captain 30 years later, lifting the first Ulster Club Senior Championship for our club, Moneyglass. I want to thank big thank you to Bewster Park for hosting today. Thank you to the Ulster Ladies Council for your work in organising this competition every year, and for all the work you do to promote our game and keep it at such a high level. To Brendan, today's referee, and all your officials, we really appreciate the job you do. It's not always easy, but the days like today wouldn't be possible without you, so a big thank you to the referees. To Errigal Ciaran, look, we knew coming into today you are a top quality side. You showed that today. You fought hard right to the end, and you really have done yourselves and your clubs so proud. So well done. Big round of applause for Errigal. Huge thank you to MMG, Martin Robin, our team sponsor. Our club sponsor boys, and anyone who's contributed in any way, big or small, to support the team this year, all year, not only through Ulster campaign. Look, we really appreciate it. We wouldn't be able to do this without your support, so thank you. To all our friends, family and supporters here today who've been with us all year, and every year that we've been plugging away and leading up to this, thank you so much for all your support and encouragement. You drive us on more than you realise, and you're such a huge part of what got us over the line today. So thank you for coming out. To our management team, Maxine, Charlie, Alan, Eunice, Anne-Marie and Mary, thank you for all the work you put in behind the scenes. And the belief you've had in this since day one that we could be achieving this today. We wouldn't be standing here without all your dedication and commitment to the team, and we're so grateful for all that you do. Finally, to this group of girls standing here, I have never in my life played with such hard-working, committed, selfless girls. You've all made so many sacrifices this year and the last couple of years along different ways, and I hope this really makes it worth it. I'm so proud of the effort every single one of you has put in, and today you have made history, becoming Ulster champions, and I'm delighted we get to bring the cup back to Moneyglass.
That's the moment, and I hope it does a bit of good to Bert Trollan, I mentioned there, who's out of hospital. I hope it gives you a bit of a lift, Bert, even though you're from Glenaevy. And talking about photographers, the great Elaine Kelly, of course, is from Moneyglass, and her daughter Aoife playing midfield today, and she will have... There's a photographer there, that's not Elaine, but he's earning his money there with a bit of an unusual shot, but that's probably a really nice shot with a crowd all behind them as well. But all smiles for Aoife there in the shot, and for Elaine and for Bert and all of Antrim ladies. Really an historic day for them, fantastic for them, and fantastic shots up close there from our cameraman Kieran McMahon as well. And the one favourite story I'm going to take out of today, Emer Smith, just to finish with, is Caitlin Graffin. 3 years ago in the Ulster Senior Final, she played at half time, and today she played the whole game and played in an amazing defensive performance for her team that was the platform of their success. And from a Moneyglass and Antrim point of view, they've not only won this, they've won it so comprehensively. It's been so impressive for me.
Yeah, look, there's no doubt. They're a great team, and I suppose, you know, it's a really special experience now for all the girls part of that squad, you know, to be the first team to do it, obviously within Moneyglass, and the first Antrim team to do it as well. It's a great achievement, and one they can definitely be proud of.
I can sense that you're a little bit jealous, and you'd love to be saying that from a Fermanagh point of view.
Yeah, I suppose, who wouldn't be jealous with, someone climbing the steps to lift an Ulster title. But, Moneyglass have obviously put in the hard work. They've got a great unit there and a great team, and obviously the support and the number of people out on the pitch supporting them as well. They obviously have that community backing as well. So it's really nice to see, and look, you're obviously delighted for them as well.
Okay, Emer, thanks very much for joining us today. It's been good fun. I've enjoyed your insights absolutely in this final, this senior final, the AIB Ulster Senior Championship final. There's Eleanor Mallon. It's not easy to say that. I'll just say Malzo with a cup there, and no wonder she deserves it. She came on at the end there, but she, as I said, has been one of the heart and soul players. And there's the Devlins, of course. These girls are going to enjoy this, I feel. They're definitely going to enjoy this all night, and then they've got an All-Ireland semi-final to look forward to against Kilmacud Crokes away. That's a tough one, but don't worry about that right now, girls. There's the Devlin twins in there enjoying it. They've got the flares going, blue of course, and they are going to party into the night. And why not? As you say, Emer, this is a one-off. No one will ever be the first team to win it again, and they're the girls that have done it. It's taken a few years. It's taken a Derry man, it's taken a Donegal man in there helping them, but they've got there and they have won it. So that's about it from our live stream coverage of the 3 Ulster finals this weekend. We hope you have enjoyed it yesterday in Rosslea and 2 here today. From us all, including Ciaran in the middle of it all there, it's goodbye.